Hello, quick collage I'm talking about. It's more of a mixed media piece actually. But because of the nature of it, I'm going with shaky cam. Um, because I need to. It's good for me to pick up and examine it, and I could do the top mounted, but I thought I'd look at it this from this angle. And this is what I'm talking about of a how I talked about the original. Some of the early people who experimented collages, like the Cubists, would put in real world objects into their paintings. And this here is I've got the screaming man with the void in his mouth, and the void in it. Well, it's not so much a void, but you see it opening. He's got star fields inside of him, and I decided this. One of the rare times I have painted to prove I can kind. This proves I can kind of paint when I want to. It's not my artistic style. Techniques aren't particularly fantastic painting wise, but it gets the job through. It's got a halo of barbed wire just because I thought that would look cool, and but it also shows it could show like an element of hostility, and the starfield inside him could be like you have the universe within you. And this is back before I changed my name, so it's signed JB, but I didn't put a date on it, so I can't actually remember when I did this. I have a title though. It's called Through My Eyes. So how I would show this off to people, because I could possibly scan this in and put it in my book. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do that. I could like just put it up on a wall and photograph it that way. So that's this piece. This will have been done in the late 90s, but this shows sometimes willingness to paint and start to experiment, and that's the whole thing of the being through my eyes is how I've cut through the canvas. So I couldn't have done this on a canvas board, I did it on an actual canvas, so it could be placed almost like a mask. So you also have some people, the notion that some people put on masks and do a lot of masking to show their to hide their real nature or how they're really feeling. So there's not much else to say. This, I mean, it's the way you had the man screaming like that is kind of inspired by and reminiscent of some of the work that Gerald Scarfe did with Pink Floyd's The Wall, which is that's an album I'm going to be going into on favourite album covers, because that had quite an impact on me before I decided to try and become an artist. When I was a teenager and doing art, I was still always interested in art. Ever since I was little, I've loved drawing and so forth. It's only as an adult I decided to focus on collage because one thing, it's quicker. Um, um, but so yeah, so it's reminiscent of Gerald Scarfe's work in The Wall, where you've got the screaming form of pink going on, and also the children in the Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 sequence of it. But unlike Scarf stuff, this character has more clearly defined and painted out nose. It's not quite as nightmarish. So I made a thin attempt to make it try and look like an actual person, but it was something I painted very quickly, and I wanted to look rough um, and almost we could say it's kind of impressionistic by the way that how it's not putting the details close, zoom right up to it. You don't always see some of the details, but you see a lot more of it as you zoom out. So let me know what you think of this piece, whether you like it, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. I have my description has my merch links on my socials, and I shall speak to you soon. Thank you.